Young Linkish Buying. Welcome to my show. Welcome to the video called the third show. This is more with having a wonderful day on this 9th July 2025. It is very early, but I'm working today, so I want to get some videos before we go to work. That way, when we have just when you go to work, we're ready. We're talking about my parents. It's gonna be a short video. It's gonna be an amazing video. It's a thank you. I love to update my parents, right? I think about how lucky I was to have them. When shit hit the fan, they were there. When shit doesn't hit the fan, they were there. Those are the people that you want to keep around. People that are there for you no matter what. You want to keep around. It's my parents, so it's normal, right? But I'm lucky because I have both an amazing mom and an amazing father. That is extremely lucky. Like a lot of people are gonna have one great parents, but one shitty parents. I have two good, which is great. So thank you for that. But lately, and I kind of took it the wrong way. They start talk about mortality, and you don't want to hear that, right? But then you know what's gonna happen. It is gonna happen, and whether you're ready or not, it's gonna happen. And it made me sad to think about them as dead. And they talk about taking care of the estate. I'm like, fuck the estate, fuck the money. I want you guys to be alive. But then, not realistic, and this is their way of taking care of me as a death, which I actually really appreciate it. I want to show you this because this is gorgeous. 9 July 29, sunrise, baby. So, lately they've been really present. Like when I had financial trouble, they were there. But when I found a job, they were there. You see? And I just want to say thank you because they do so much for me. They do so much for me. And it's the small thing that counts. They do small things that I'm really grateful for. But it's also the whole demeanor of not only you're doing so much for me, but you're happy to do it. A lot of people will say, hey, I did something for you, you owe me. You know? It's an amazing relationship because as a kid, I didn't want my parents to come in. I didn't like my parents. It's not that I didn't like my parents. I had a very rough relationship with my parents. My mom, which was the nice parent, I only saw her 2 days out of 14. So there was this almost feeling of, well, I'm gonna see my mom only 2 days, but it's okay because that's the way it is. And my father was emotionally distant, but I wasn't interested into reaching the distance. I was interested in making the extra step. Like, okay, you want to be in your corner? Be in your corner. I don't give a fuck, you know. And it was like that for years, for decades. And then when I grew up, I was like almost resenting them because I was like, I took care of myself, you know. I took care of myself. And then they were there. They were behind me. They helped me out. They really raised me. They really took care of me, you know. They had different ways. They had a lot of different ways. My father was a bit more hands-off. My mom was a bit more hands-on. Then my mom was only there for 2 days. So even if she was hands-on, it didn't really matter. And even if my father was being head off, my father was head off because when it was time to give you shit, he was strict. When it was time to give you, to tell you that you did a good job, my father told me multiple times you did a good job. But in between, you didn't do a good job or you didn't do bad, that's where I was a bit lacking. You know? And I grew up in, I was actually watching Psalm 100. Psalm 100 is the perfect representation of how I felt. I felt like my parents were beneath me. And I know it's horrible to say, but still. I want to do more, I didn't know what more was, but I wanted to do more. But then they did so much sacrifice for me. They did so much for me, and I never even realized it. So, as an older person, as a more mature person, I realized, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the thing that they did 10 years ago. I'm thankful for the thing that they did 20 years ago. You know, they've been having my back. And I have to say, the person I am today is because of experience, right? It's because of hardship, struggles, right? But there was a good foundation. And the good foundation was thanks to them. And I say thank you to them. I'm extremely thankful. Extremely thankful. Because they did all they could. And they always put in the maximum effort. I was an easy kid to deal with. They didn't care. They took care of me. And I'm grateful for that. I think right now, the thought of becoming a parent is more apparent. So I think that because it's more apparent, I think that we're gonna push towards, okay, well, how did my parents do? And then when you think about how did your parents do, you're like, okay, did they kind of have a good job? Kind of a good job is actually a really good job. So, yeah, I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. You know, mom didn't have the most, but she gave the most. My father wasn't raised with the most knowledge, but whenever he could help. You know, I don't feel about the trip, the way I treated them. I was a sad kid. Sad people hurt. Hurt people hurt. Hurt people hurt people. And I'm lucky enough to realize that they were amazing before they're gone. I got maybe 5 good years with them left. I got maybe 10 years with them. So I don't know how much I might have with them, but I know I'm grateful. And see, the thing is, there's always going to be this nature versus nurture. Nature is the way they taught you. Nurture is the way you were raised, right? By nature, you are an angry person, or you were raised to be angry, right? It's going to be that, right? And I always said, I'm going to be that my own person. When you look at them, my parents are both people that are super loved. My parents are amazing. I can joke with them. I'm going to tease them. I'm going to treat them like shit a little bit, just to annoy them. They'll laugh about it. You know? It's funny. That's what my mom is like. It was really nice. My mom and I lately have felt a lot closer. Because I feel bad about my mom because I see my father every single week, but my mom, she lives too far for that. So when I see her, it's like, oh my god, I hadn't seen you for a while. But then I haven't saw my parents in 3 weeks. I saw my mom in 3 weeks, you know. So it looks like a lot. It's not a lot. But we have right now the best relationship we've ever had. And I've ever thankful for that. My father is aware of the effort I'm making. For that, and my mom, she knows how much I'm pushing forward, and she's also proud of that. You see, and again, I'm not trying to please anybody, but when you please someone, it's actually nice. Cutting my hair for them was a big step. It was a big way of saying thank you. But actually acknowledging what they did. I really do in the morning. I'm fucking tired, guy. And something else is something that's also important. You know, fuck the little stuff, but also acknowledge the little stuff. I've been very, very lucky at life. And yes, I struggle, and yes, I've had problems, but I've had good people, I met good people, I have amazing opportunities. I had a tough life, but I was given a lot of choices. When I say I don't regret how I treated my parents, I regret some of the things that I did to them, to people in general. And if I followed their advice, I would have never done that. You know, my father very righteous, my mom very kind. I could have been an amazing being at a very young age. I hope I'm an amazing being right now, but you know, it's a road of traveling. It's a traveling. Anyway, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. I love you guys. Thank you so much for today, for yesterday, for tomorrow, for hopefully 5 years, for hopefully 10 years. I'm grateful that you're with me, but I'm grateful that you're yourself. I won the DNA jackpot, I won the parents jackpot. I'm thankful for that. See, my parents, I was pissed off because they were both small. So I was destined to be small, genetically speaking. Like, why do that? You know you're still gonna get bullied. Why do that? Well, because, technically speaking, because I was small, I became the person I am. I became funny, I had to find other ways to fit in. That's a struggle. But the best reward is the struggle. Because you learn more shit. Anyway, I'm emotional because, you know, my parents, I love them. And they're in good shape. They're really good shape. But see, I have older parents, which means that I have older friends, and you see it when it comes down to it. 1 year they're okay. 1 year they look frail. They look fragile. They look weak. So every single day is a blessing. Ah, tired.